Sawadee-Cup and welcome to another episode here for the Funky Pod, and it's MMA Media time. Not sticking to the MMA Monday anymore because, let's be honest, there are too many things are happening to just stick to Mondays, and then sometimes there's nothing happening. There's nothing to talk about, so let's just call it what it is. Let's call it MMA Media. I'm looking at, reacting to whatever you want to call it. The MMA Media, what's happening in the space, how is the media being utilized, how are players utilizing the media, players meaning fighters, other stakeholders, and so on, and how is the media, the MMA media, portraying fighters, stakeholders, and so on as well. And so welcome to MMA Media. All right, so here we go. And the first thing that we have to talk about, and I just came back from a beach holiday, like a few days at the beach, no social media or barely any. Just used it to upload pictures of my cat, obviously. Other than that, really not much exposure. And now I come back, listen to all the podcasts while I'm in the gym again, or while I'm commuting through Bangkok. And wow, what did I miss? What went down? And Twitter is abuzz with current MMA media discussions, or the one discussion, because apparently Paddy the Baddy stayed true to his name and unleashed a tirade on Ariel Helwani, on Paddy's own podcast. He had the boss Dana White as a guest, which is, I don't want to say ballsy, because it's the opposite of, what's the opposite of ballsy? I'm not a native speaker. Please tell me, what's the opposite of ballsy? Like, it's just upsucky, is that a thing? I don't know. And of course, he's not, I don't know, arguing with Dana White about anything. Of course, they're like all buddy and so on. And so I'm not here to necessarily judge Paddy Pimblett or to take Ariel's side, because if you listen to any of my previous MMA Mondays, for example, and I know at least like 300 of you have, I'm not the biggest Ariel Helwani fan, and I do agree that sometimes he likes to stir the pot a little bit, but maybe that's also just what makes her interesting. And maybe stirring the pot is the wrong thing. Like he keeps, if he sees an opening, he keeps poking at it. He's like, I see there's something you don't really want to say, so I keep poking at it until you say it. So maybe that's not stirring the pot. Maybe that's like poking the plot hole or something. So I do see that he doesn't let things go sometimes. Like, okay, I see someone's not saying everything, but I'm gonna go for it, which is fine, I guess, because it's still somewhat of entertainment, right? I mean, sports is kind of entertainment, and we listen to him, to other MMA media, to not just regurgitate like UFC press releases, but to give us more. So I guess that's why we're listening to him. So, oh God, am I taking the side of Ariel Helwani? Oh, no, still not. But oh God, I hope you know what I'm saying. One great example was not too long ago. He was on the Andrew Schulz podcast, when Schulz had like all those fighters on him, which was awesome, by the way. Andrew Schulz, biggest MMA journalist in the game. And they were talking to Volkanovski, right? And Volk was just saying, like, no, just get blah, 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 just wait for it or whatever. And Schulz was like, okay, sure, we will wait and see. And Helwani was like, you know something. Like, Helwani picked up like this on Volkanovski's body language, on the way he said it, and Helwani was like, you know something, right? You're gonna announce it, right? I mean, and then Helwani was like, yeah, you announce it on your own, but I know that you know something and you're gonna announce something. That was pretty cool. I don't know if he had different sources telling him that, but it was like just a nice pickup there in the moment. So that makes a good, I don't know if I want to call it journalist or how Paddy call it, content creator. Doesn't matter what you call it, right? So let's talk about the issue at hand, and I'll try again. I am not affiliated with any of those, right? So, and as a matter of fact, if I would do what Paddy claims Ariel is doing, I would be super happy if I would make money with any of those podcasts / videos. So I would not be like Ariel saying like, no, don't make any money with it. So in the podcast between Paddy and Dana, they hit on Ariel Helwani, call him all the names, which, see, I don't want to defend Ariel Helwani, but if you just call someone names already, it's just hard to take your side if you're like, oh, he's a MFer and so on. And I can't take your side if you're insulting someone who's not even there and like, just be more professional. Oh, see, I don't even like taking sides here. So they're hitting on him. They're like, yeah, he sucks, whatever. And he just does it for money and he makes money off fighters' backs and so on. And then Helwani refuted it on his podcast. He's like, no, I don't make any money out of fighters. I have a salary here at whatever that is, MMA fighting. Is it Vox, I guess? Well, yeah, but I mean, the company still makes money covering fighting. So I do understand where Dana White and Paddy are coming from, even if it's not directly, but I understand where they're coming from. They also referenced something to that, like they wanted to get paid for an interview with BT Sport, which of course is hilarious. Like you make enough money, you don't need to get paid for interviews. Ridiculous. And Helwani said so himself. He's like, I've never paid anyone, and I do believe that. Like, why would you pay? Because I mean, if the fighters go on the biggest show, it's good for them as well. And I hate the word, because, you know, I'm in digital marketing. If you follow the podcast, I hate the word like awareness, because what you get with awareness, nothing. You need to convert and so on. But I mean, it's a win-win, right? You get on the program, you get some, oh God, I hate the word exposure as well. But I mean, more people see you, right? I mean, Terrence McKinney, for example, he's awesome. And I followed him because I saw an interview with him on Helwani, and I was like, that dude is cool, let me check him out. And now I'm like one of the biggest followers / fans of Terrence McKinney, for example, right? Paddy Pimblett, I did not know who he was before he came on Ariel's show in like 2019 or whatever. It's still like Cage Warriors. I don't even follow Cage Warriors, like, please. So they do have a point in terms of that. Yeah, media is making money with fighting, but that's what media outlets do. ESPN covering all kinds of sports. They make money off of covering sports, right? So you can't really fault them for it, because the users, the viewers, we want it. There's a need. We want to tune in, want to watch sports coverage and so on, right? Are you mad at Chuck and Shaq for being like on NBA on TNT, for example? Are you mad at Ernie? If you're mad at Ernie, we can't be friends, by the way. You can be mad at Kenny, but you can't be mad at Ernie. No, we're not mad. That's what we want, right? So the media is part of the game. The media, they focus on reaching audiences, building their reach and so on, and then the athletes, promoters and so on use the media to get to the audience. That's just how it goes. So I don't understand how they can be mad at it. They're just mad at him, of course, for back then, like breaking those news about Brock Lesnar that should have not been broken, and just being against them quite often, which is understandable that they're mad, like them being the UFC, but be professional for Christ's sake, for crying out loud, right? So I miss the professionalism here. That's one thing that, however, then again, to be honest, it also makes the fight game so much fun, because sometimes the professionalism just goes out the window. Like, there would never be a spat like this in the NFL, NBA, the World Cup. Like, even everybody hates Infantino right now, like the president of FIFA at the World Cup. There's not going to be a spat like this. Infantino would be like, yo, PR secretary, you handle this, put out a statement, and then we move on and we ignore it. Dana White just keeps like hating on it, which is kind of fun as well, to be honest. I mean, and it's not only Dana White, let's be honest. Like, I can't speak for Scott Coker or the PFL people, but I mean, I mentioned a few times, I got blocked by the CEO of one championship on Twitter, like, I don't know, 5 years ago or whatever. I mean, I asked on Twitter the question, like, how do you guys actually make money? I don't understand. And then he blocked me. So I do understand that, like, promoters in the fight world, like, even though they are the CEOs, presidents, whatever you want to call them, they're still like fighters somewhat. Like, I mean, not fighters, but like aggressive at heart or so, I guess. So I do understand that, and it makes it kind of fun. But if it's too much, you're like, that's childish. Then back to Ariel Helwani, right? Him now hitting back. I mean, I'm all for it. Makes this podcast so much better. I have to say, very often I skip lots of guests because I'm not interested in what they have to say, because even though he doesn't ask the same old questions all the time, it's still like a bit repetitive at times. So I don't listen to everybody on there. Who does? Who listens to 4 hours of Ariel Helwani? Like, I'm sorry, Ariel, you're the GOAT probably, and I still don't take your side, but like 4 hours of like, I apologize. I can't do that. But I do like when he's hitting out, because he keeps the receipts. He shows the receipts, which is great. If you put out a hit on someone, and I love the hit 'em up post that he put out on Instagram, just the Tupac cover of Hit 'em Up. Awesome. So I do appreciate it. I mean I'm a sucker for professional wrestling, so I also like his professional wrestling antics, obviously. And to keep the receipts, show the receipts, and then just if what I said last time with Brendan Schaub, I miss Brendan Schaub already. Like I hope he's piggybacking off of that, even though Brendan Schaub hates both, right? He hates Dana White and he hates Ariel. Let's see who he hates more. Like let's see which side he's taking now. Like what Ariel said back then with his beef with Schaub was like, if you come for the king, you best not miss, or something, right? So I do like that. He says he's not petty, but he's super petty. He keeps all the receipts, and then he's just like, all right, let it build, and then it just like hits out on them. I like it from a drama point of view. I just sit back, eat my imaginary popcorn. Usually I'm in the gym while I listen to the podcast, so no popcorn, but like just being entertained. I had to smile a few times today while I was working out, because I listened to him just hitting out. From a professional point of view, I mean, it's entertainment value. Great. Theoretically, PR point of view, right? Media point of view, you wouldn't go at the president of the biggest organization of the sport that you cover. But with a standing like Ariel, with a following like Ariel, you can do it. He's done it. That's kind of like his call sign over the past few years, right? You can do it. And if you do it, you got to be entertaining, just like what Ariel did, and emotional a little bit, which is fine. So I can't believe I talked for 12 minutes or so, and I'm actually taking Ariel's side. So again, let's try to put the professional hat on for a second and just try to look at it from a media. I don't want to say scholar. That clinks. It was German. That sounds so arrogant. So from just someone who works in the media, who researches lots of media stuff, right? So there's this saying, I'm sure you know, like if you wrestle with pigs, right, you both get dirty. And that's from a theoretical point of view, that's how this looks like, right? So I don't like either of the people involved, like particularly. So I don't have any side, and I think they all look terrible. I do think that Paddy Pimblett looks the worst because Dana White, we know that Dana hates Ariel, and Ariel doesn't really have much love for Dana either, which is fine because they're both just hating each other. All right. Now, Paddy, I know if he's trying to cozy up to Dana White or whatever went wrong with him there, and listening to Ariel's text messages that he now read, kind of weird, like how he snapped like this or changed his mind, like all of a sudden, wanting to get paid for, or his manager said he needs to get paid for interviews or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But like the way just it came out and they behaved and how they like just laughing together like buddies and like just shitting on Ariel Helwani just doesn't make Dana White look good, but we already know that he's like that, but also doesn't make Paddy Pimblett look good. It's not edgy, it's not cool, it's not funny. It's just shitty. And I can't imagine that. Ariel Helwani haters might like it. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of his either, but I feel like it was a shitty move, and it's not smart, it's not sophisticated, it's not edgy, it's nothing. It's just like, you are a content. He calls Helwani a content creator, like so. But I mean, in this case, Paddy Pimblett is a content creator who just tries to shit on Helwani just to get the clicks and the likes and the algorithm. Like, that's exactly what you're doing, mate, lad. And oh my god, it makes it really difficult to keep liking him. I mean, I didn't like him before, but it's just me being German, not being affectionate towards that kind of British behavior. I'm sorry, I like Bisping though, kinda in short bursts. So yeah, I see it's hard for me to keep the professional viewpoint here. So from a professional point of view, again, no one's looking good. Should have kept that like between them. If you air dirty laundry, you need to have the receipts like Ariel did, then it's fine. If you just keep Well, then it's not fine, but it's like it makes more sense if you just keep hating on someone and then just keep making up stuff that apparently didn't happen according to the receipts. Then you're just looking bad. And now, if you have two choices, right? You either say like, "All right, I got caught up in the moment. Like Dana White was next to me, and we just like kind of like stirred each other up." Then you apologize. All right. If you now double down on it, then it's basically over unless you have more receipts that no one else has seen, right? So I think that's just it. And again, if I feel like Volkanovski saying, and again, Volk, that's the one. I know you listen to my podcast. That's the one thing you need to like cut out. Like always things again. That's like Volk's. That's Volk's. It's like again, if he's thinking, and then he always says like again. What I'm saying again, it's like that I'm so Volk. Your social media game is getting better and better. Your content is getting better, but the again needs to go. All right, let me say it one more time. Again, no one's looking good here. From experience, not experience, from history. If Helwani hits out on someone, he probably will let it go rather soonish. Like with Brandon Schaub, he kept it going for a while, and it was funny for a while. But I think this one, he's going to let go quite fast. Unless BS is coming to either side's hair. I don't want to call it help. Yeah, unless BS is jumping on either side now, of course. And I'm actually kind of sure that he did, because it's just a content gold mine. Look at me, I talked about it for 15 minutes without saying much. Besides that, it's ridiculous and also fun. So Ariel, Paddy, Dana, thanks for the content. It was fun listening to it during while I was in the gym. Now we can focus again on the next pay-per-view. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much, because let's be honest, the next pay-per-view, and I'm gonna keep it short, because I don't do reviews or previews here. Do you have other shows for that? I just talk about the media coverage of that and so on. So that's going to be a 5-minute thing right now, because let's be honest, Jan Blachowicz, Magomed Ankalaev, zero media hype behind him, unfortunately. I mean, I'm from Europe. I mean, Germany and Poland, but I'm still like, we're neighbors. I'm all for Jan Blachowicz. Like, let's go. I'm older than Jan Blachowicz, so I'm like, yeah, man, old guy power. Let's go for it. But there's no hype, zero hype. They're doing a terrible job promoting this fight, and it's the main event of the last pay-per-view of the year. It's ridiculous. Don't even talk about Ankalaev, because besides the stupid punts on the BYM podcast with like ankles, which is really. Like Anthony and Bisping, you gotta let it go. That's ridiculous. It's not even funny. Like it's so stupid. So yeah, no hype behind it at all. Most hype is probably behind the co-main event, which is Paddy Pimblett against Jared Flash Gordon. And there's probably more hype now just because of Pimblett shitting on Ariel. Maybe that's why they did it, just because they didn't sell any pay-per-view use yet, because nobody cares, lad. And maybe that's why they did it, just to hype it up a little, just to make Ariel talk about it more, just so that they sell more pay-per-views. I don't know, because who cares? Like, they will keep feeding, that's not feeding, but they will keep giving Paddy fighters that he has a chance of beating. They're not going to throw him into anyone who's going to kick his ass. I just saw Sean Sheehan for the first time on Submission Radio the other day, which is still, I think, the best MMA channel out there. Not overdoing it. If they have interviews, they make sense. And Sean Sheehan actually made a good point. He's like, he doesn't think that Paddy Pimblett is going to be the next big champion. He doesn't see Pimblett getting up into like super high ranked territory. And I agree. Like, I agree with what he said. So what he said, he's there for a few fun fights, but from what we've seen so far. Yeah, so he should be happy to getting all the engagement, outreach, and so on right now, because just enjoy it while it lasts. Maybe they realize that he's not top level, and that's why they're doing all those things and trying to grab all the money they can. Last one that I remember is Darren Till against DDP, Dricus du Plessis. It's DD. That's a wrestling reference from Diamond Dallas Page. It's me, it's DDP. And good old time. So I should kind of be rooting for Darren Till because he trains here in Thailand at Bang Tao Muay Thai, the new gym by the Hickman brothers in Phuket. The training footage that they published on their Instagram was meant to make Till look good, I guess. Maybe not, because he didn't. I mean, he was hitting fast and stuff and training hard, but he did not look in shape at all. Like, if I take off my shirt right now, I probably would be looking more in shape that Darren Till looked in those videos. But maybe that's on purpose. Maybe that's like keeping some muscle mass and just shredding down last minute. I don't know how that works. Obviously, like I mean the theory, but not in real life. So I do hope that Darren Till just goes out there and smokes Dricus du Plessis. He has the I know, not the ability. He's getting hit. Du Plessis, that is, Till too, obviously. So it should be a fun fight. But again, not previewing it media-wise. Only thing I've seen for it was from Bang Tao Muay Thai, the post about Darren Till, like 2 or 3 of those. I haven't seen Du Plessis anywhere. I haven't seen any hype behind Darren Till, even though he was like one of the biggest stars in the UFC, even though he lost a few important fights. So usually they do a good job with the pay-per-views. This time, I think they don't even. They already know it's gonna suck, and they just stop caring about it. So that was the quick media preview of UFC 282. I'm sorry. That's about it. We'll end it here because I don't want to say again anymore. Just like Volkanovski. I do have a few more sessions / episodes coming up where I talk about One Championship as well. Again, of course, One on Prime happening a lot these days. Lots of shake-up there in One Championship. Lots of developments also happening there. We will have like another mixed rules fight in January here in Bangkok where I'll be live in person as well. So I'm going to talk about this as well in the preview, obviously. So this is all coming to this channel, to MMA Media soon. Let me know what you think about the beef between Ariel, Paddy, Dana. What's BS gonna do? What do you think about the UFC 282? Are you excited? Are you not? Shout out in the comments. Shout out social media at funkitpod. Email funkitpod@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, rate this thing because we can reach a bigger audience if you rate it. And as always, take care, stay safe, and keep your guard up. Sawadee Cup.